Welcome to my little corner of the internet, where we celebrate creativity and growth. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Shaybanids. We hope you find it enlightening. The Shaybanids, or Shaybanids, more accurately known as the Abul-Khayrid-Shibanids, were a dynasty of Uzbek Turko-Mongol origin who ruled over most of modern-day Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and parts of Russia including West Siberia in the 15th century. They were the patrilineal descendants of Shiban, the fifth son of Jochi and grandson of Genghis Khan. Until the mid-14th century, they acknowledged the authority of the descendants of Shiban's brothers Batu and Orda Khan, such as Beg Khan. The Shaybanids originally led the Gray Horde southeast of the Urals, also known as the Uzbegs, after the Uzbeks, and converted to Islam in 1282. At its height, the Khanate included parts of modern-day Afghanistan and other parts of Central Asia. As the lineages of Batu and Orda died out in the course of the great civil wars of the 14th century, the Shaybanids under Abul-Khayrid-Shibanids declared themselves the only legitimate successors to Jochi and put forward claims to the whole of his enormous ulus, which included parts of Siberia and Kazakhstan. Their rivals were the Tukay-Timurid dynasty, which claimed descent from Jochi's 13th son by a concubine. Several decades of strife left the Tukay-Timurids in control of the Great Horde and its successor states in Europe, namely the Khanates of Kazan, Astrakhan, and Crimea. Let's now turn our attention to Shaybanid dynasty and uncover the fascinating insights it brings to the table. Under Abul-Khayrid-Shibanids, who led the Shaybanids from 1428 to 1468, the dynasty began consolidating disparate Uzbek tribes, first in the area around Tumen and the Tura River and then down into the Siberia region. His grandson Muhammad Shaybani ruled, who gave his name to the Shaybanid dynasty, conquered Samarkand, Herat, Bak and Bukhara, thus ending the Timurid dynasty and establishing the short-lived Shaybanid empire. After his death at the hands of Shah Ismail I, he was followed successively by an uncle, a cousin, and a brother, whose Shaybanid descendants would rule the Khanate of Bukhara from 1505 until 1598 and the Khanate of Kazan from 1511 until 1695. Another state ruled by the Shaybanids was the Khanate of Siberia, seizing the throne in 1563. Its last Khan, Kakum, was deposed by the Russians in 1598. He escaped to Bukhara, but his sons and grandsons were taken by the Tsar to Moscow, where they eventually assumed the surname of Sibirsky. In this part of the video, we'll be delving deeper into culture and analyzing its key components. Muhammad Shaybani Khan and his successors started a program of translating of Persian literature into Chagatai Turkish. Despite this, the main bureaucratic language continued to be Persian. Let's now zoom in on numismatics and uncover the hidden gems that lie within. The Timurid ruler Shahrukh developed the unit of currency, the tanka-i-shauki, in the early 15th century. This served as the basis for the silver coins used by the Shaybanids. The broad, thin variant of Shaybanid silver coins, which were popular throughout Central Asia, Persia, and northwest India in the 16th century, were all created under late Timurid governors. Most of these coins are between 1.1 and 1.2 inch across, with a diameter of at least 1 inch. Many of Abdullah I's coins have a diameter of almost 1.4 inch at their widest point, with corresponding decreases in thickness. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of Shaybanid architecture as we examine its impact and relevance. As the Shaybanids set out to make Bukhara the cultural and architectural capital of their dynasty, countless building ventures transformed the city under their rule. Bukhara's Grand Mosque, the Kaylan Mosque, was built in 1121 CE. However, under the Shaybanids in the early 16th century, it was entirely reconstructed with the addition of stone columns, arches, and 288 vaults. The mosque was part of a religious complex that also consisted of a 5-domed palace and a mosque. In 1530, under the rule of Ubaydullah, the Mir Arab Madrasa was added to the complex, in honor of a sheikh known as Mir Arab. Opposite the Kaylan Mosque, the Mir Arab Madrasa stood tall with 2-story classrooms surrounding a central courtyard. The interior of much of the complex was decorated with plaster-carved ceilings and extensive colorful tillwork. However, much of the tillwork and wall inscriptions have not survived. In the second part of the 16th century, a north-south major roadway and an east-west passage were built throughout the city of Bukhara. In the years between 1562 and 1587, the north-south artery of the city housed the Chasu market development, which included 3 covered markets, the Goldsmiths Dome, the Hatzalas Dome, and the Monaikangas Dome. These markets, called tax for their multiple domes, were all less than away from each other. Moreover, all around these covered markets were caravanserais and large madrasas that accommodated hundreds of people and students. Together, this created a lively central environment that supported the trade of an abundance of goods. In the late 16th century, during his reign as Khan, Abdullah bin Iskandar built 2 major structures, the Moher Khan Madrasa and the Abdullah I Madrasa, together called the Kosh Madrasa. The Modari Khan Madrasa, a tribute to Abdullah's mother, was built first, in 1567. Then, between 1588 and 1590, Abdullah Khan built another madrasa, the Abdullah Madrasa, in his own honor. The decoration of the Abdullah Khan Madrasa consists of a complex glazed tile pattern with geometric stars, shapes, and borders. The madrasa also features various inscriptions containing the name of the ruler. The inscriptions were written in Arabic script with extended vertical lines. The large madrasa was built to serve as a theological school. Another of the most significant monuments built by Abdullah Khan CE was the Seraphim Baths. The Seraphim Baths consisted of a central octagonal bath with rooms on all sides. The different rooms were multi-purpose, allowing for a range of activities from simple relaxation to business meetings, conversation, and games. There are differences between the layout of the men's and women's bath quarters. Men had separate rooms for worship and the rooms were intricately decorated with tile work. The women's bath was less decorated and lacked any separate stalls. Welcome to the next segment, where we explore Khans of Shaybanid dynasty of Khanate of Bukhara and its significance in our journey. Khans of Shaybanid dynasty of Khanate of Bukhara. Blue row signifies progenitor chief. Khans of significance highlighted in bold. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more valuable content.